Alright, this is Razor fucking Standards for August 16th, 2025. So, just to start off, I guess I'll state that I don't have a specific script to follow, so it'll kind of be play by ear. But with that, there are a few things that I want to touch on in this episode, so to speak. So in fact, I'll list them off right here. So one of them, and this is not chronologically, but one of them is just something that happened today with my family that a little bit shocking, a little bit of a what the fuck moment that I'll share. Another thing was just also a little bit of a what the fuck moment, but not as much, just in regards to goal setting, accountability. And I'd say the third thing that I'll share today, it'll do with role plays, things that I can improve on, things that I did well. Not too much specifically sales oriented. I mean, I finished the first part of the pre-licensing, so I did the first big pre-licensing exam, which that's good because I'm taking the final exam tomorrow, which I'm also gonna fucking kill just like I did the one today. And as a part of that, wasn't able to focus too much time to the actual training of the sales script. But long story short, let's get into it. So the first part I mentioned about the what the fuck moment with my family. So basically I was stopping by a family member's house, and one of my sisters, her and her kids are staying over, and this is kind of just fucking wild to me because I had given one of her little daughters, I think she's like 10 now, maybe 9, 10. She's still like a little one, but she's growing, she's learning, all that. And I gave her, because her birthday was not too long ago, I gave her some money, right, as a gift. And I mean, without delving into too much detail, let's just say basically everyone in my family, not just that sister, but everyone lives on an immense scarcity mindset, right? Just like 99% of people. And long story short, they didn't want to give her the money because they had set goals for her, because she needed to do this math assignment in order to make money. And look, you have to have goals. You have to set yourself accountable. I completely agree with that. But when you withhold gifts and when you withhold rewards, even if it's something for like a birthday, and their main argument, the parents' main argument is like, she's gonna go and buy junk food with it. Okay, why don't you go with her to like a different store, like an arts and crafts store, wherever she wants to go, and just see that she buys something of value that she wants. Maybe it's a notepad, maybe it's even a purse. Like, just the scarcity. And like, don't get me wrong, yes, this girl's a little bit of a troublemaker, and yeah, she could get some discipline, but what kid isn't a troublemaker, right? And the point is, it's such a big scarcity mindset that it was just so sad to see how they treated their own daughter this way. Their own daughter. Just limiting belief upon limiting belief. And it's like, no wonder everyone's so fucking poor. And it's not just about the money. It starts with the mindset. When you have limiting beliefs about money, about the things you can do in life, course you're going to hate your life, and then you're just going to teach your kids the same fucking lessons. it just made me so sad. Because this is a small child. She's growing. She's learning. I think she's very talented. All my nieces and nephews are talented as fuck, okay? Each in their own way. But it's just sad to see. And I know for a fact I'm not gonna teach my future daughters that way. That is for certain. So that's point one. Basically, don't just because everyone else around you limits themselves does not mean that you have to listen to their bullshit. The second part is about kind of accountability, and I had posted something about accountability in the Wolves group, just in regards to meeting weekly to have goal check-ins and accountability. And like the first one, no one showed up. I genuinely hope at least a few people show up to the one tomorrow, because quite frankly, if you're not checking in on your goals, you're just kind of floating around, you know? Like, you need accountability. You need that Catholic nun to slap you on the wrist if you're not following. And look, I'm not trying to like be all pushy and force it, but you do need discipline and accountability, while at the same time you also need flow and relaxation and fluidity. It really is a medium, like Boyd says. But if people don't show up to tomorrow's, then I mean, it's just kind of odd. It defeats the purpose, because what we're learning is amazing in regards to mindset and sales, but not having some sort of accountability system to back that up is like, why would you even do it in the first place if you're not tracking your progress? You're not really improving if you're not setting goals and then checking in on their status. So that's thing 2, accountability. And then thing 3, in regards to role play and improvement and what I did well. I mean, I only practiced the script twice today, unfortunately, and the second time was kind of offbeat. But I'm not going to let that limit me. And so one thing that I could improve on both of them was just being a bit more engaged. I was a little bit, not sleepy, but just kind of withdrawn. So just have more energy, have more, like right now even. I mean, part of it is I have drank a lot of caffeine later in the day. So that's part of it, but I was just a little bit withdrawn. So focus on that. But one thing I did good was, especially in the one I did this morning, was just like yesterday evening, I was very calm. It was like I was talking to a friend. There wasn't a significant like pushiness, sales breath type shit. So it was relatively calm in that aspect. Now, I guess I lost my train of thought. But yeah, that's the main thing I wanted to emphasize there. Now, aside from that, just to leave off on a note of positivity, self-improvement, self-growth, I'll start with realizing that sometimes not sometimes, almost all the time, when you chase things, they don't come to you, right? Boy, can I give a lot of examples. For me, a big thing is when I'm like trying to step out of my comfort zone and like talk to a beautiful girl, and I set the intention of, you know, doing that, and then when I force it, when I push it, it like I just limit myself. And then the very second that I don't worry about it, I don't stress about it, I just go and relax, just focus on something else, girls come up to me and come talk to me. And that's with everything in life, not just relationships. So what I'm trying to say is, let's go back to what I mentioned about accountability and having that medium. You need that hard driving, cold-blooded Dan Pena business executive motherfucker on one side. On the other side, you do need that loosey-goosey, spiritually connected, lack of a better word, hippie girl, right? You need a balance. Yeah, sometimes you need to lean more to one than the other. My tendency is more to lean to that hard, cold-blooded Dan Pena motherfucker, which I've noticed leads to me not necessarily attracting things, but kind of forcing outcomes. And it's the very moment that I stop focusing on those things that they come to me, which is kind of funny. So I guess for myself personally, I guess I need to embrace that loosey-goosey hippie yoga girl a bit more. But for you, it's up to you to find what you need more of, to find that balance, because you really shouldn't be on one side or the other too much, too often, right? That's just a thing I've noticed, and I guess what I'll leave everyone off with tonight. And I guess the last thing would be is just realize that life really is a process, and whenever you really desire an outcome, that is good. That is amazing. It's good to have drive and passion and desire and a fire up your ass to make things happen, right? With that said, though, always realize that with all your goals and intentions, there's a lag time. And part of me thinks that lag time is just to test if you're really willing to want it long enough and stay committed to the point where even after it seems like you've kept trying, it's not coming, you're still willing to wait an extra little bit to have it happen, make it happen, you know? So, long story short, have drive, have passion, yet have that balance between the cold-blooded business executive and the loosey-goosey, spiritually connected hippie girl. And at the same time, realize that anything in life worthwhile is a process. It's going to take some time to make it happen. It will happen if you want it bad enough. Can't tell you the number of times I've had a burning desire to make something happen, and it's happened. But it was often in the moment when I wasn't too focused or forcing an outcome. It was always when I was focused on something else. So just keep living life. Don't force it too much. And go at it one day at a time. With that, God bless. Thank you for listening. And perhaps, not perhaps, most likely, if you watch this far, we'll probably meet in the future in person and get to set each other accountable and improve and make our visions a reality. All right, good night.